Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A disturbing story is unfolding at this Monroe County cemetery. A mother accused of tying up her 11-year-old son and trying to burn him alive.
You saw the aftermath, now see the high-speed chase that led to this wild crash, what police discovered when they caught the driver.
But first, the Local 4 defenders uncovering what could be a big break in the disappearance of Danielle Stizlicki. And it tops Local 4 News tonight at 11. The Farmington Hills woman has not been seen since December, and since then there have really been very few answers about her disappearance.
And now, nearly 7 months later, police have a person of interest, and it starts with a new development in a separate investigation. Jason Colthorpe is live in Livonia with reaction to an arrest in that case, but we begin with Local 4 defender Karen Drew, who's been following this Stizlicki investigation every step of the way.
Devin, Kim, we are learning more about how this arrest was made today. Livonia Police and Farmington Hills Police remain very tight-lipped, but other sources are telling me this person of interest was arrested this morning between 9 and noon at a business in Oakland County. The suspect was calm, did not attempt to flee, and in about 10 hours will be in front of a judge to face some serious charges. As you can imagine, the Stizlicki family hopes this arrest will be the break in their daughter's case that they've been waiting for.
This is the sketch of the person of interest who Livonia police arrested Tuesday morning for kidnapping and sexually assaulting a 28-year-old woman who was jogging in Hines Park back on September 4th of last year. Police have been on the lookout for this man for 9 months, then recently a break in the case. Livonia Police and Farmington Hills Police will not elaborate on how they made the connection, but sources will confirm this person is not only arrested for the attack at Hines Park, they also consider him a person of interest in the disappearance of Danielle Stizlicki.
You cannot just vanish off the face of the earth.
Ann and Rich Stizlicki are Danielle's parents. Recently, I sat down to talk with them about their daughter, who's been missing since December 2nd of last year.
Danielle was our potential, the best of us. Couldn't be duplicated by anyone else.
Danielle left work in Southfield, never to be seen again. Her Jeep Renegade found outside her Farmington Hills apartment. Searches for her went cold. A former security guard who worked where Danielle worked had his Berkeley home searched, floorboards taken out of his house, his car removed, samples sent off for DNA testing, but no arrests ever made in her disappearance. Farmington Hills Police always adamant they were making progress.
We've overwhelmed them with the amount of evidence that we've collected. In this particular case, it's been not to release information too early. It would be to no advantage to us.
Now it appears the pieces of the puzzle are being put together. The chief had previously said Danielle's blue Eddie Bauer jacket could prove a critical piece of evidence. It's what she was wearing when she was last seen. Police won't confirm or deny what evidence they have at this point, but sources say the suspected attacker in Hines Park is most definitely a person of interest in Danielle's disappearance.
It's terrifying to think that I would even have to go another month waiting to find answers.
Well, when I talked to Farmington Hills Police Chief Chuck Nebus tonight, he said he hopes this could be a break in the case, but besides that, just would not elaborate much more because they have been working so hard on this case and they just don't want to make any mistakes and release any extra information.
Well, what has been the reaction of the Stizlicki parents? You stay in pretty close contact with them.
Yeah, we do call, we text, I check on them, and there is a sense of relief that there could be a break in the case. I mean, they have been waiting and waiting to try to get some answers, but they too want to make sure that they don't say anything or do anything to affect the case. But they have said time and time again how they are eager to get some answers. They said to me, you know, they admitted that they don't really believe she's alive, but they have to keep fighting to get some answers, and maybe we'll. Yeah, maybe this is the first step. Yeah. We don't know. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of new information that's going to come out in court.
Right.
Well, in fact, to the other part of this story now. Let's move to that.
Yes.
All right, so let's head over to Jason Colthorpe, the man at the center of this investigation. He'll be arraigned on 3 charges tomorrow, including kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct, and assault. Jason Colthorpe is live in Livonia at the police department where that suspect is being held tonight. Jason.
And Kim, those charges stem from that September 4th attack at Hines Park. And when this 28-year-old woman was jogging on the path, she passed a young man. And as she did, she said to police that his hand came across her neck and yanked her down. He hit her in the head, tried to drag her into the Rouge River while telling her he planned to have sex with her. Well, it was her toughness, her survival skills that allowed her to escape and fight off this man and call for help. And believe me, what she did that day, leading to a sketch and leading to today's arrest, was not lost on the women jogging tonight in Hines Park.
We come out here as a group several times a week and are able to run.
Awesome job!
With other people, so I don't have to run by myself because I don't feel comfortable running by myself.
The group is Love Runs, a few hundred runners raising money to stop human trafficking in Metro Detroit. Many who run in Hines Park were well aware of the attempted rape in September.
We have a page that things get posted on the page, and so I read about that it happened, and a lot of people shared ideas of how to run safely.
And this morning's arrest is a big deal here.
Very, because I used to run the path where all that happened, and after that happened, I wouldn't go down it.
No running at night.
Yeah, no running at night.
Julie Roy has been a careful walker runner since an incident at college, and April Police knows today's good news comes with a caveat.
Sure, but you always still need to be aware. There's the next guy right around the corner.
But if Livonia police are right, there could be one less creep out there, and women here wish they could hug the jogger who survived and helped make the arrest happen.
Made me think, like, if it does happen to me, like, you can get away. Like, you can run, you can fight back. You don't have to, just take it. Like, you can get away. So I'm really proud of her, whoever she is out there. That is really brave of her and strong of her.
You bet it was, and it played a huge part in leading to this arrest. That suspect remains in the Livonia jail tonight, where he will be arraigned tomorrow. We're not sure of what time yet, but we certainly expect to learn much more information about this case and this suspect involved in what looks like two cases. In Livonia, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
All right, Jason. And for 7 months, Defender Karen Drews reported every development in the Stislicki case. You can catch up on the investigation and learn more about today's developments on the homepage of clickondetroit.com.
It's been a rough 24 hours for Chiquita Keene Johnston and her family. The 47-year-old grandmother was with her family by the Spirit of Detroit last night when an argument between young men boiled over into gunfire. She was hit. Tonight, she's talking to us from her hospital bed. Mara McDonald live from Henry Ford Hospital with her story. Mara?
Good evening to you, Devin. And that bullet did some real damage. It entered her side, clipped her rib, but luckily didn't hit any major organs. What was supposed to be a family affair for Chiquita Keene Johnston and her family turned into total chaos.
Someone shooting. I heard a gunshot, and then all of a sudden, I was almost not able to move. It felt like somebody had punched me in the back.
A fight between a group of young men turned violent when they started shooting. Chiquita, an innocent bystander, was hit.
I fell. My husband thought that I had tripped, and he's like, "Come on, babe, would you do trip?" I said, "No. I just got hit. I just got shot."
Police and paramedics were there instantly. Her 8-year-old grandson, Amari's first thought was to run to the police for help.
My 8-year-old grandson had ran to the street to the police and grabbed him and said, "My grandma just got shot."
Little Amari, worn out from the last 24 hours, stood by his grandfather and great-grandmother this afternoon as they relived what happened. The entire family is physically and emotionally wrung out after the shooting last night.
Screaming, calling my name. I don't know what to do. I didn't know which way to go. It was a total mess. It was, uncalled for totally.
Tonight, the family remains at Henry Ford by Chiquita's bedside, and while they are grateful for the help that arrived so quickly, no more fireworks for this family.
I don't even want to go downtown anymore because it's too much. I'm afraid to be in the big crowd. I'm afraid of what might happen.
Back here live, I asked little 8-year-old Amari how come he was so smart and knew how to run to those police officers in the midst of all that going on, and he just looked at me and said, "I don't know, I just did." We're live at Henry Ford Hospital tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Smart young man. All right, Mara, thank you. In more news, a mother in Monroe County is accused of setting her car on fire with her 11-year-old son trapped inside. Investigators got a call about a car on fire at the Roselawn Memorial Park Cemetery in LaSalle Township. They say the mother tied her son up in the car, then set the trunk on fire. He struggled to free himself, and eventually the mother came and let him out. He wasn't seriously hurt. The mother, though, was charged with attempted murder and arson.
Restructuring in the Detroit Public Schools Community District is now underway. The first big move by the new superintendent, Nikolai Vitti. He is slashing dozens of administrative jobs to generate $5 million in extra revenue, and that money will go to improve technology, programming, teacher and principal development. But the overall goal, of course, is to improve the academic achievement in Detroit schools. A troubling trend in among pet owners has experts sending a warning tonight. The mistakes many are making that's leading to overweight pets.
And he picked the wrong place to rob. A thief caught off guard when he makes a move on a store owner. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Kim. Summer coming back from vacation, but not tomorrow morning. We start unseasonably cool in the 50s, and we'll show you where we end up heading into the 4th coming up.
Healthcare is a human right.
The emotional battle over healthcare is far from new. Since long before the Great Depression, our nation has struggled with how to make it work. Coming up, I'll show you how we got here and where we could go next.
Family.
The health care crisis. It has been a wild few weeks of proposals and rejections, and now a delay in the vote on the Senate Republican plan.
But at the heart of the issue is people. So starting tonight and all day tomorrow, we're taking an in-depth look at how this critical issue impacts us all.
Let's start with Dr. Frank McGeorge here to help explain why this got so complicated. Doc?
Well, Devin and Kimberly, how did we end up here? Why is our healthcare system so messy and complicated? It happened one piece at a time, starting a long time ago.
Over 100 years ago, medical care was very basic and fairly inexpensive. The biggest health concern of the time related to dangerous working conditions. A single serious injury or illness to the main breadwinner in a family would send them into poverty, and early insurance, known as industrial injury and sickness funds, slowly sprouted up.
Historically, insurance was designed to cover catastrophic things, things that you could not afford, that would bankrupt you effectively if you ran into them. Have we made some progress, actually?
Marianne Udow-Phillips directs the Center for Healthcare Research and Transformation at the University of Michigan.
Every developed country in the world, other than the United States, is clear about how they've designed their health system. They actually have social policy where they have said, this is how we're going to deliver and finance healthcare. And you can almost always identify a single entity that is responsible for healthcare in just about every country in Europe or Japan or elsewhere in the developed world. That is not true in America.
The complex system of coverage in America evolved. It was never thoughtfully designed, mainly because we've never answered the question of whether healthcare is a right, a product to be bought and sold, or an essential government service like roads, education, or police and fire service. As you'll see, America was driven in different directions at different times.
At the turn of the century, medical science became more developed and care became increasingly more expensive. Interest in broader nationalized health coverage grew, but it was stifled by events in American history. Early problems came from seemingly unlikely places. For example, during World War I, there was furious anti-German sentiment, and the nationalized healthcare system Germany had adopted was considered anti-American. Then, the Great Depression moved the needle in favor of private health insurance. Hospitals needed to attract patients, so they developed plans where, for a small monthly fee, short-term hospitalization would be covered. This was ultimately the birth of Blue Cross. World War II moved the U.S. even more toward private insurance, and specifically employer-sponsored plans, linking health insurance to employment. Here's how it happened. The war caused the government to limit wage increases with one loophole. Employers could compete for workers by offering health insurance as a fringe benefit.
Insurance and employer-sponsored insurance was really developed in that period of time in the 1940s. Because employers could use it as a benefit to attract a workforce. So we saw huge growth in employment-sponsored insurance in the 1940s and World War II.
She points out employment-sponsored health problems created other problems.
But that meant we left out a whole bunch of people, right? We left out seniors because they didn't work, and we left out people in poverty. So in the 1960s, we developed measures to cover some of those people, Medicare for seniors and Medicaid for some people in poverty. And so that's made it a very complicated system.
Since the 60s, both Medicaid and Medicare have stretched to cover even more people. Obamacare grew the ranks of the insured, but failed to address other issues. The fact remains, at every opportunity to start over with healthcare, we've elected to make smaller changes instead. And that's created the complex puzzle we face today.
We know there's a lot of concern about where healthcare is going next, so I'm teaming up with Help Me Hank to sort it all out. And tomorrow at 6 a.m., I'll tackle pre-existing conditions, what they are and why they matter so much. Then at 4, Devin Scillian looks at the politics behind the plans. And at 5, what you need to know about the latest healthcare proposal.
And then at 5:30, Dr. McGeorge will take a look at the Medicaid piece of the puzzle. It's very confusing. You'll see why experts say it could actually hurt Michigan the most. At 6 o'clock, how does this affect all of you that get your insurance from your employer? Well, the answer to that question may surprise you.
And tomorrow at 11, the impact on our kids. We're going inside the healthcare crisis all day on Local 4.
All right, Doc. Ben steps in now. I think somebody has a birthday tomorrow. Am I correct?
How did you know?
Isn't that amazing? Well, it's pre-printed on most American calendars. So we need nice weather for Kay Gill's birthday tomorrow.
You know what? You picked the one day of the week we're not going to deal with afternoon showers.
Pick of the week. How about that? My birthday.
Somebody knew what was coming. But I'll tell you, tonight, though, we're still on the cool side. And when you see the numbers this far apart, that's an indication we've got clear skies anywhere between 64 at Metro and 49 already out in Ann Arbor. We're going to continue watching these numbers drop, but skies are going to remain clear at least through the start of tomorrow morning. We chased out some of those last pesky showers, didn't see any returns like we did last night about this time, but you can see how much of the state's under clear conditions. High pressure will protect us tomorrow, but once we get into the nighttime hours, there will be some thunderstorms overnight. This is past midnight. That's going to run into Thursday morning. Then we dry out briefly until a cold front arrives. Thursday afternoon, we'll see some thunderstorms, and some of those could linger right into Friday morning and stretch even beyond that. So the end of the work week is looking unsettled. Plus, once we get into Thursday and that cold front settles south, especially in the afternoon, some of those storms could be on the strong side. So overnight lows tonight drop to 55 in the city. Of course, we've already seen some of those 40s in the outlying areas. Here's what high temperatures are going to look like tomorrow, which is a little bit better than we did today. Close to 80, just not quite there. 79 in the city. May touch 80 down here in our south zone. But generally, these numbers are not going to be very much far apart from each other. West zone temperatures upper 70s. And some of our coolest numbers north of M59 may get down to 76 for a high, but that's as cool as it gets. And then those numbers start coming up and summer starts resembling itself for Thursday through Tuesday. In fact, very consistent forecast, especially in those afternoon highs. Low to mid 80s, morning lows in the 60s. But there's quite a bit of thunderstorm chances in there Thursday and Friday, especially a mostly dry weekend. And unfortunately, we bring back the rain for the holiday weekend. But for tomorrow's holiday,
Tomorrow's a big holiday
that
exactly
I forgot about.
Right.
I treat it like another day.
Me. Forgot
but I'm going to be off.
I know. Well, that's why I thought I'd better mention it tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, if you're in the market for a car, you'll be happy to hear prices are coming down. What's causing them to drop?
Also, a showdown between a store owner and a would-be robber ends rather quickly. The owner seemed rather prepared for what happened.